Wait, why is my dude stuck? Why is my dude stuck? There we go. All right, agents. This is a non-meta assault turret striker drone build. We'll go through it pretty quick here. So we are using the technician specialization. We got the MERV launcher. We're using for weaponry. The primary is the police UMP, since it can get perks, or the mods can give you 23% damage to elites, and at the same time use the link laser pointer, which pulses enemies you aim at. When we get to the mask, you'll see why that's important. In our secondary slot, we're using the first of the 5 named gear pieces we're using, the send-off shotgun. This guy is running with Perpetuation, Allegro, and the perfect talent of Perfectly Rooted, which gives us 30% skill damage for 15 seconds, once every 60 seconds. We're running 20% damage to elites on this bad boy, and again, the link laser pointer to proc pulsing. And lastly, in the Sardom slot, we're using a double-barrel sawed-off, primarily for the recharge perk to give us 25% additional duration to the turret and the drone. All right, so first we'll go through the other 4 named gear pieces. Start out with the Night Watcher mask. This is the Gila Guard mask, so it innately gives us the plus 5% total armor, and the Perfect Spotter perk. That's 20% weapon damage to pulse enemies. So this is where the link laser pointer comes in. Any enemy that you're aiming to shoot at, you will innately pulse, and thus be doing the 20% weapon damage to naturally. We have 2 utility mods in this whole build. Both of them are skill power mods with Seeker skill power and Turret skill power. As far as the attributes on the mask, you want as much damage to elites as possible and as much skill haste as possible. Moving on to the checks piece, we have the Araldi Holdings Pristine Example. The brand set gives you plus 10% accuracy. You want a max weapon damage roll and a max skill power roll. It innately comes with Perfect Vigilance. Gain 30% weapon damage. Taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. This perk has grown on me a lot. As I'm running both the drone and the turret, enemies tend to focus on that first, so I don't take damage as often as you would think. Thus, Perfect Vigilance is up fairly often. Mods, we have a shotgun damage mod with the main thing about this mod is the plus 2% damage to armor. Defensive mod, we will have one with skill health to add bonus health to the drone and the turret, as well as almost 5,000 armor on kill. The 4th named gear piece so far, we have the China Light Strategic Alignment. Unfortunately, we aren't doing anything with the plus 10% explosive damage from the brand set, but that's the only way we can get perfect spark. Damaging enemies with skills or explosive damage grants 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. This procs immediately from damage from the turret or the drone, and thus stays active through the entire engagement. You want weapon damage and skill haste for sure. I have crit hit chance on this. I would actually prefer the crit hit chance to be a large armor roll, but I'm okay with the crit hit chance. Self-adjusting, I would prefer to have hard hitting for the plus 25% damage to elites, but that's the way it goes. The last of the named gear pieces, we have the Contractor's Gloves, Petrov Defense. Brand set gives plus 10% LMG damage, so if you do like using LMGs and you're using them, you can benefit from that. Petrov always comes with 3 attributes, so we rolled crit hit chance and SMG damage, and then whatever the other roll was, I rolled skill power. If possible, I don't know if you can roll health on these gloves, but if possible, I would switch out the small crit hit chance there for a large health roll. Perfect Terminate. Depleting an enemy's armor grants 40% skill damage for 15 seconds. Kills refresh this. So the first time you break armor, it procs the Perfect Terminate. You kill that enemy, it refreshes it. Any enemy you kill after that refreshes. So these gloves are great. Moving on to the non-named gear pieces. Of course, as everybody's doing, we're running the Gila Guard for the 2 offensive mod slots. Since we're running 2 pieces, we get plus 20% hazard protection. You want a maxed out skill power roll and as high of a crit hit chance roll as you can get in the spot. If you want, I think you can roll armor there too, or health, or I think maybe it's just health. Anyway, but I prefer the damage from the crit hit chance. And then, of course, the 2 mod slots, you want the best mods you have. I particularly wanted mods with damage to armor, so that affects the damage of the drone and the turret as well. I would have preferred both these to have SMG damage, but that's not what I got. And the last armor piece will be our Fenris knee pads. The reason why we went with Fenris is for the double talents. I believe they're the only knee pads that can roll 2 talents on them by giving up an attribute. We're not using the brand set of plus 10% assault rifle damage, but if you do use assault rifles, you can benefit from that. You do want maximum skill haste on this, which is also buffed by the first talent, which is the Surge. That's the non-active talent. And then the active talent you want Calculated, which kills from cover, reduce skill cooldowns by 10%. This is the main skill cooldown method right here. Because we're using those, the Fenris do not have a mod slot, so not a lot of mod slots in this build. We still ended up with a 10 offensive, 1 defensive, 8 utility. Lastly, we'll move on to the actual skills themselves. We'll start out with the drone. The drone has a 22-second cooldown, does just over 28k damage. We're running a skill haste mod and 2 damage mods. If both of these damage mods were maxed out at the 150%, I think we'd easily be over 30k damage as the base damage. And you cannot get a damage mod in the housing slot, thus the reason why I went for the skill haste. And our striker drone. Our striker drone has a 33-second cooldown, thus the necessity for all the cooldown and really the necessity for the calculated on the knee pads. 28k damage, and that's achieved through 2 straight-up damage mods of about 190%. Those max out at 200. And then a 143% striker damage mod. These max out at 600%, so do be looking for 550 to 600%. If I had that, again, easily I'd be able to get over 20k base damage. So, lastly, before showing some gameplay, we'll just check out the stats. Just a quick breakdown real quick. Spike for skill damage, In Rhythm for cooldown, Perpetuation for duration, Rooted for skill damage, Recharge for skill duration. You'll notice we are running almost 25k weapon damage with an SMG, 33% crit hit chance. We got 20% all weapon damage, 23% SMG, 19% shotgun damage, 75% damage to elites. Now keep in mind that if we did have the hard hitting on the backpack like I would hope for, we would have a straight up 100% damage to elites right there. Got 6% armor damage, 1% health damage. We're running with the Perfect Spark for 20% weapon damage. Perfect Vigilance for 30% weapon damage. Perfect Spotter for 20% weapon damage. Perfect Terminate for 40% skill damage. Surge for extra skill haste, and Calculated as the main skill cooldown method. We've already gone through the brand sets. We're running just under 200,000 armor, just under 30,000 health. We're getting almost 5,000 armor per kill, so we get about 2.5% armor per kill back, and that's about it. So now I'll throw up some gameplay. You guys can see how it looks. Thanks for watching, and we'll check you guys next time. If you do like this, hit the like button. Please share it if you think it's useful to anybody else. Come on, drone, take out that big dude. Don't be a bitch. There we go. Yeah, do your job. Ooh, 20K. Nice. I don't think that worked out how they thought it would work out. Submachine gun. Uh-oh. Oh, did I come down too quick? I might have.
An agent needs assistance. Vital signs critical. Agent down. An agent needs assistance. Electronic device detected. Watch out. An agent has left your group.